Cultural landscape and archaeological remains of the Bamiyan Valley. The cultural landscape and archaeological remains of the Bamiyan Valley represent the artistic and religious developments, which from the 1st to the 13th centuries characterized ancient Bakhtria, integrating various cultural influences into the Gandhara school of Buddhist art. The area contains numerous Buddhist monastic ensembles and sanctuaries, as well as fortified edifices from the Islamic period. The site is also testimony to the tragic destruction by the Taliban of the two standing Buddha statues, which shook the world in March 2001. Enclosed between the high mountains of the Hindu Kush in the central highlands of Afghanistan, the Bamiyan Valley opens out into a large basin bordered to the north by a long, high stretch of rocky cliffs. The cultural landscape and archaeological remains of the Bamiyan Valley comprise a serial property consisting of 8 separate sites within the valley and its tributaries. Carved into the Bamiyan cliffs are the 2 niches of the giant Buddha statues, 55 meters and 38 meters high, destroyed by the Taliban in 2001, and numerous caves forming a large ensemble of Buddhist monasteries, chapels and sanctuaries along the foothills of the valley dating from the 3rd to the 5th century CE. In several of the caves and niches, often linked by galleries, there are remains of wall paintings and seated Buddha figures. In the valleys of the Bamiyan's tributaries are further groups of caves including the Coliakrum Valley Caves, some 3 kilometers southeast of the Bamiyan Cliffs, where among the more than 100 caves dating from the 6th to 13th centuries are fragments of a 10 meters tall standing Buddha figure and a sanctuary with painted decorations from the Sasanian period. Along the Fuladi Valley around 2 kilometers southwest of the Bamiyan Cliffs are the caves of Coliakrum and Lalai Gami, also containing decorative features. Punctuating the center of the valley basin to the south of the Great Cliff are the remains of the fortress of Shar-i-Galula. Dating from the 6th to 10th centuries CE, this marks the original settlement of Bamiyan as stopping place on the branch of the Silk Route, which linked China and India via ancient Bakhtria. Further to the east along the Bamiyan Valley are the remains of fortification walls and settlements, dating from the 6th to 8th centuries at Kayai Kafari A and B, and further east still, around 15 kilometers east of the Bamiyan Cliffs, at Shar-i-Zuak, where the earlier remains are overlaid by developments of the 10th to 13th centuries under the rule of the Islamic Ghaznavid and Grid dynasties. The cultural landscape and archaeological remains of the Bamiyan Valley represent the artistic and religious developments which from the 1st to the 13th centuries characterized ancient Bakhtria, integrating various cultural influences into the Gandhara school of Buddhist art. The numerous Buddhist monastic ensembles and sanctuaries, as well as fortified structures from the Islamic period, testify to the interchange of Indian, Hellenistic, Roman, Sasanian and Islamic influences. The site is also testimony to recurring reactions to iconic art, the most recent being the internationally condemned deliberate destruction of the 2 standing Buddha statues in March 2001. Why this site is World Heritage? Criterion 1. The Buddha statues and the cave art in Bamiyan Valley are an outstanding representation of the Gandharan school in Buddhist art in the Central Asian region. Criterion 2. The artistic and architectural remains of Bamiyan Valley, an important Buddhist center on the Silk Road, are an exceptional testimony to the interchange of Indian, Hellenistic, Roman and Sasanian influences as the basis for the development of a particular artistic expression in the Gandharan school. To this can be added the Islamic influence in a later period. Criterion 3. The Bamiyan Valley bears an exceptional testimony to a cultural tradition in the Central Asian region, which has disappeared. Criterion 4. The Bamiyan Valley is an outstanding example of a cultural landscape that illustrates a significant period in Buddhism. Criterion 5. The Bamiyan Valley is the most monumental expression of Western Buddhism. It was an important center of pilgrimage over many centuries. Due to their symbolic values, the monuments have suffered at different times of their existence, including the deliberate destruction in 2001, which shook the whole world. If you want to watch more videos, Kindly subscribe to my channel.